on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Going Deeper edition, I guess. Is that what we're calling it now? I'm your host, Nick. Allie and Amanda are with me. And boy, do we have an all-timer today. Meghan Trainor is with us, our guest. What? Meghan Trainor? The superstar musician? Yeah, that's who. And her brother, Ryan, who I kind of have a crush on. I think he's great. And they're with us. They have a new hit podcast out. And, well, I was on theirs. Now they're on mine. And we get into it. Many of you have asked us to talk about Love is Blind too. We did. We have. I don't know when did it come out, but like I binged it over the weekend. I haven't fully caught up to like what's available, and then would they release it like every week? I don't know. People are at different spots. I think is kind of the point. Allie and Amanda are with us.
Yeah, we are.
They're here.
Correct.
Anything else we need to like remind people? Anything going on in your world? Does she want to come on for an Ask Nick?
No, I'm not letting her come on. That's a boundary I'm drawing.
Okay, fair enough.
That is a literal boundary.
I had to ask, I will respect that boundary.
And we've also since had a conversation where like she was like, I never in any way meant to imply that I would do this around your back or over your head.
The moving in thing?
The moving in thing. And I gave them my full blessing. I think they'd be great roommates. They both have wonderful, wonderful cats. That could be brother and sister. So I guess the update is mature conversation.
Allie,
No, I made a face when you were like, wonderful cats, because I've never met a wonderful cat. But I am expanding in my friend life, and I'm very happy about it.
How so?
I feel like I've like kind of found a potential group of friends through a couple of my friends.
Yeah.
And I moving to LA, we both moved here around the same time.
This is a big deal. This
like
is not,
moving in 2020 by myself.
Not easy.
No. And it was
also
really,
making friends as an adult.
Especially in LA.
Hard
like combine all of these things.
Yeah.
And it's a very exciting time. My fifth wheeled yesterday and it was really fun.
You fifth wheeled?
Yeah, because it's
this group of friends are all coupled up.
Not all of them, but the other single girl currently has COVID. So the sixth wheel was not there. But they didn't, they're the type of couples where it's not like, they're affectionate and touchy, but you never feel like you're imposing by being there. There are people that handle the group thing while in relationships well, and there are people who do not.
I have always prided myself in being a good third or fifth wheel.
Yeah. I also think I've been training for this my whole life. Like my sister started dating her boyfriend 12 years ago. I've known him half my life. He at one point said, Allie, if you finally get a boyfriend, it'll be weird because he'll be the fourth wheel. That's how integrated I am in their relationship.
Okay.
I wear it with pride.
I think this is like a big moment.
Yeah. Friends. Meeting
new groups of friends. It's a nice thing adults were just like, it was so easy in the second grade to be like, I remember being like, do you want to be my friend? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Great.
You also like the color green? Done. Like you just need one little commonality as a kid and it's sold.
But just to actually ask someone, do you want to be friends? We used to all do that. Mm-hmm. And now we...
there should be friendship DTR. Normalize telling your friends that they're your friends.
Do you want to be my friend? Should we be friends? Anywho, don't forget to send your questions at asknick@castmedia.com. Cast with a K. We have a great mediation call.
We not only have an international superstar, we have an international mediation call.
Yeah. Don't forget to send in your mediation questions. Listen, we have every relationship's been better for it. Get those guys to write in. Call your partner. I don't know what you're fighting about. Your friends too.
Roommates.
We'll take roommates.
Siblings.
Siblings. Jim Jeffries is with us next week to recap The Bachelor. He's back. Jim Jeffries, the amazing, wonderful, hilarious comedian, and more importantly, Bachelor fan, is back to help us break down another episode of The Bachelor. Subscribe, review, tell your friends. All right, Meghan Trainor and Ryan. Meghan, Ryan, how are you?
Oh my God,
Fantastic.
Hi. So good. Thanks
so
for
good to
having
see
us.
you guys again.
I know, I missed you.
We missed you.
It's like I was about to say welcome back, but I was on your show.
You're on our show.
How's the love life coming? I've been dying to catch up with Ryan. For those of you who don't know, when I was on your show, you were debating whether you wanted to open up your heart again to love.
I mean, it's open. I went to a house party. It was a friend's birthday. I didn't know a lot of people. I just really knew the birthday boy. And I'm kind of just like roaming around the house party. I'm just like, I'll tough it out. I had some conversations and there were no sparks. But I stuck in there, did my best. You know, still recently sober. It's a whole new world for me. Yeah. Then just nothing was really grabbing my interest. So we'll find that in a different environment. And no dating apps.
I still think you should consider the dating.
You haven't even
know.
thought of doing it? The dating
No,
app?
I mean, we're going to bring
What
up...
if we like do it right now? Just make one.
There's just no shot.
But like, what's
There's
the
no
worst that can
shot.
happen? You match with someone?
Are you worried about what it says about you, or are you worried about?
No. I mean, we're going to talk about Love is Blind, right?
Yeah.
I feel like watching that show, first of all, is melting my brain. I cannot stand it. And it's just watching hinge date after hinge date after hinge date. And I go, oh, that's probably what hinge is. I'm all set. I mean, they seem like great people, and God bless them. I'm not. I'm good.
That's how you really feel, right?
Dude,
You
hold
guys-
it. Fuck.
Bro, we
I can't.
watched it so we could come here and talk about it with you. And he was just screaming, I'm over it the whole time.
Holy
and like,
shit.
do you
What
sit
what
through
did
the
you
whole
not like
show?
what did you not like about
It's
it?
so vanilla, dude. It's just like, and then the fucking Shane guy, every time he talks, and he's just like, tell me I'm pretty. Why don't you tell me I'm pretty? And then he gets upset. I'm like, what is going on? How do people sit here and watch this? I can't
Do you
it.
watch every second of it?
I didn't watch season 1.
Okay, you should.
I watched like 2 episodes of season 1, and
Okay.
then I don't know. I just maybe like covering The Bachelor. I was too consumed by it. A lot of people listening to our show reached out and DM'd and just adamantly wanted us to at least discuss it, and I thought you guys would be perfect for it. I was surprised how into it I got. I think it's fascinating because to me, it's like watching The Bachelor after 2 people get engaged.
Yeah.
Because the Bachelor's all about the journey to find love, and like
Interesting.
Love is Blind. It's like the first episode is the pods. That's
Yes.
kind of it. Maybe
Yeah.
it bleeds it like maybe episode 2. Like it's like 2 episodes, and then after
They get
that,
engaged
it's
so fast.
it's like it's not really about. They're like they're basically saying we're going to cast a bunch of people and like 30% of them are engaged, and then we're going to follow that mess.
Right.
And it's like watching The Bachelor like on fast forward,
Yeah.
and then having been someone who got engaged on the show and lived that life. I'm like, this is like kind of relatable.
Okay.
And like because you watch just watching these people try to convince themselves that they love when they're like, no, I love you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love you too. And you see them trying to convince themselves that they feel that.
Yeah.
But I also empathize with, like, it's not that they don't believe it. It's that what they are trying to do is remember the intense motions that they felt while in that bubble.
Yes.
And they're grappling with those emotions that felt very real at the time with like introducing themselves into reality, which is kind of like what the couples who like get engaged, whether it's in Paradise or on The Bachelor, and they go in the real world feeling very much in love and introducing each other to friends and family, and it's kind of wild that way.
Yeah. Like, do we know how long they were in the pods? Do they ever say? Like, is
It's
it
unclear.
a week?
Is it a week?
What I also like about it, I like that they refer to it as an experiment.
Yes.
A social
A
experiment.
social.
I like
Yeah.
that, and like The Bachelor, they have referred to as like a journey. They don't pretend that this is not fucked up and weird.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
show doesn't even like. No, this is like.
Yeah, it's like Stanford prison experiment, but make it love. And
Yeah, it does seem crazy
I like
though that the couples will, while wedding planning, they will simultaneously refer to it as an experiment while talking about their
Marriage.
while
Yeah.
planning a wedding, and that seems kind of nutty.
Yeah. I feel like they didn't do that as much in the first season.
Did they do less of that?
It was more lovey-dovey, romantic in the first season. I feel like this one, there's a lot more hesitation when they finally get to see each other too. The big reveal. there's a lot of, oh, you know.
Yeah, you can't tell if the excitement with the reveal is like,
Yeah.
you can't tell if it's like shock and awe or excitement.
Yeah,
I
like
did enjoy those moments and like
That was
terribly awkward kisses. I was just like,
screaming. And he's like, what do I do with my hands? Because
Dude,
all
they-
of their
they-
hands.
They look, it's so fucking
It's so
funny. Like that
awkward.
shit was great.
Yeah.
Quick update. In the pod for 10 days, total season airs or takes approximately 38 days to film. So you have the first 10 in the pods, next 28
5 weeks.
Cool.
in the fiance.
That's a summer camp.
phase.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's nuts.
Oh, that's nice.
I did like Jarrett, right? He was,
Jarrett was a nice one.
well, he was just like, I know this is crazy, but I am in love with this girl. Like this is my engagement.
Sure.
This is my life. This might seem bizarre to you. And I'm like, okay, you know, because I'm watching, I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm, you know, it's fear-based because I'm like, this would be my nightmare if I go, you know, on a Hinge date and she's just like, this is it forever. Like
Oh, there was a moment. Yeah. Who was it? Fuck. There's so many.
Who did it?
Therapy. It's amazing. We love it. We advocate for it. It is not about having a major problem. It's about doing the maintenance on your mental health. That's at least how I feel about it. But if you are struggling with a problem, maybe it's just general anxiety, maybe it's some money problems, maybe it's family at home, maybe you're having qualms with people in your life, maybe it's at work, it's just stressing you out, and you want a mental health professional to talk to bend their ear on, BetterHelp is there for you. It's never been easier to connect with a mental health professional with BetterHelp. You can assess your needs and match with a licensed professional therapist and talk to them in less than 48 hours from the first time you go on their website. You go on there, you tell them what you're looking for, what the problem you're having. They'll connect with someone they think is the most appropriate. And listen, honestly, having a therapist it's like any relationship. You got to connect. You have to have chemistry. And it doesn't always work out the first time. And the great thing about BetterHelp, they got oodles of therapists to get you the right fit. They are helping, over 2 million people have already taken charge of their mental health with BetterHelp, and you can too. So visit betterhelp.com/viallfiles. That's better, H-E-L-P, help. And join over the 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, if you're a listener of the Viall Files, you get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/VIALLFILES. So everyone could benefit from running a lap, doing a push-up. Everyone could benefit from drinking more water. Same thing with therapy. Let's talk about bloating. I'm just going to pass the mic on to Allie.
It is rough. Okay, I suffer from like extreme bloating and gas situations. My gas pains can get so bad that I can't stand up straight. For those of you not watching us on YouTube, Amanda and I made these drinks from Bloom.
We have the greens and superfood powder blend, and this one is the original, but I've also tried the coconut. Both are very good.
I got the citrus one because I thought that'd be nice and refreshing. It is. And there's mixed berry as well. So you could even spice it up each day.
Bloom Nutrition makes it easy and delicious to give your body what it needs to feel its best inside and out. Their greens and superfood powder blends fights bloating, helps digestion, increases natural energy, and keeps your skin glowing. Bloom greens are packed with over 50 nutrients, including whole fruits and veggies, fibers, probiotics, antibiotics, and more, all in one easy-to-drink formula. Ooh, Bloom is made for you. That's right. Their drink is specifically designed for women. Over 350,000 people trust Bloom to feel better every day, and you can too. So if you're someone who suffers from bloating, well, it's like if you relate to Allie's story, right now Bloom Nutrition is offering our listeners 15% off your purchase of their greens and superfood blends when you go to bloomnu.com. That's BLOOMNU.com. That's BLOOMUNU.com/VIALL for 15% off your purchase. Go to bloom.nu.com/VIALL for 15% off. If Salvador we were talking to Jared about their mutual, it was before Salvador ended up with
Mallory?
Mallory, thank you. And those two were talking, and Salvador was basically saying, he was like kind of waxing poetic about, like, this is kind of the point of living, is to like, I'm feeling this intense feeling, this, and whether this is crazy or not. And as someone who's been in a social experiment that was The Bachelor, it kind of made me like, for all the kind of the shame and the criticism and I mean, fuck, I joke about my time on the show, and it can at times feel embarrassing, but like there was a element of like, you know what? It teaches you a lot about really intensely connecting with yourself. A little bit I've gotten to know you, Ryan. I wonder, I would love to see you go through something like that because I think it would just completely fuck you up, and not even in a bad way, but I think it would really rock you. And I think it would really, I sense a wall.
There's
with
such
you.
a wall.
There's such a wall.
There's definitely
Sorry.
a wall.
Yeah.
It's the fake brick wall.
I would lose my mind on this show. I would lose my mind.
I
It'd be
really was
funny.
charmed by you when I met you. I felt like I really like you. But
I like you too.
I feel like you're a handsome, charming guy who but there's this wall, and I want
Such a wall.
and I just
It's a wall of like insecurities, I think.
probably.
Maybe a mix of that.
I mean, isn't that what a wall is? I suppose.
Trust. Yeah. Right. Trust
right?
issues.
Like when we say we have a wall up, isn't that that's insecurities? I suppose, right?
and trust issues.
I would agree with
Trust,
that.
well, yes,
Trust.
Insecurity about not being able to trust people or what they might think, or if we'll disappoint people or let people down, whatever it is, we won't live up to their expectations.
Yeah. That's a good one.
But
Are you scared of like you might have to break up with someone?
No. I think it's like, am I good enough for someone?
Oh,
But we're starting to get better with that. I do feel like a better human recently. Definitely was not the case a couple years ago, but we're a much better place now. But
You're
yeah,
glowing.
I appreciate
you're glowing. You should be on the next
I was telling them
season.
before you came in, I'm like, Ryan's pretty handsome.
Hey, ladies.
This is The Bachelor. This actually is a social
This is a
experiment.
social
Date
experiment.
Allie and I.
Hell yeah.
I'm nervous now.
We also noticed while watching it, like the ages, like.
Oh, I
he's-
feel like a child.
We look like babies. Just
old are you?
like
I'm 29. Like I'm looking
there's
at
a
these
lot
people.
of 29-year-olds on the show.
I'm like, I would just be a goofy
it's
kid.
very much a late 20s, early 30s kind of. They seem to try to find people who have tried at love
Yeah.
and failed.
Some of these
Yeah.
dudes were looking like not that age. They looked older. Well, except for little Shane.
Have you got? So we were discussing this earlier on yesterday's episode. How far are you? How far into meeting?
Episode
we
4.
got to like
So you're.
we watched like a little bit of the Cancun action.
Are you? So you're not in Chicago yet?
No. We just finished Cancun.
I'm
I
in
think.
Chicago. They made it back to Chicago. Ryan, I'm really curious because at first, Shane, sorry, not Ryan. You're not. Sorry.
Dude, you
You're not
compare
Shane.
me to the
Asshole.
worst guy in the goddamn
I don't
show.
know if he is though.
What do you mean?
You love him?
No, I don't know about
Bro,
him.
they get to the beach and they're about to go on the sailing. He's just like, I feel like Rose from the Titanic or some shit. What the fuck?
He's a weird.
No,
he's a
someone
goofball.
compared him to the movie with Tom Hanks. They're like,
Yeah.
he's literally a 12-year-old in a 30-year-old's body.
I mean, he's a self-identified kind of a goofball weirdo. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't judge someone on their self-awareness,
Yeah.
even though
At least he knows.
if they're not my cup of tea, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah.
But I think I was potentially judging him early on where there was some dude when he was going back between Shayna
Yep.
and
Yeah.
And the
he
what are
called her
you
out.
wearing?
yeah.
Bitch, after good, I was hoping it was you.
But when he says like the
Shayna.
wrong name and he kind of breaks down like
And
a
it
little,
gets kind of
like a little boy.
Yeah.
It was
And
super
he's like,
weird. It was
to be
super weird.
honest, it's weird. Like if you think that's weird.
Yeah,
That was super-
yeah. That's
Don't call
when
her
you know
out
something is
while
wrong.
She
He got-
has emotions.
There was some toxic masculine.
Yes.
There was some toxic behavior.
Yes.
I don't know if that's.
I think he's also
Yes.
on like 100 milligrams of Vyvanse, just fucking. He's ready to rock at all times.
But later on, other people.
Does he chill out later?
Have you seen Nick and
Exactly,
Danielle?
that's
Yes,
the
it
one
was
who's up.
Danielle. Have you seen them fight yet?
No. I haven't seen a fight. Is it good? Is it dirty?
It's
Is it
it's
good?
awesome. It's tragic. They're
Ooh. It's over.
they're so toxic. I mean, Here's what here's another
Now
thing.
we have
Oh.
to keep watching it.
Here's what I love about.
refuse.
No, you got to keep going.
We gotta
No,
keep
I do
going.
not.
Yes,
It's
we do.
melting my brain,
Yes,
dude.
we do.
I
We
can't.
have
You
I'm
can
just
learn.
like, what is happening?
There's stuff to learn.
You can learn.
There's nothing to learn.
No, there
what
is.
I'm learning is I'm avoiding every type of person.
He
in this
watched it and
lineup.
was like, I'm not dating after this.
Well, that's
I'm
maybe
not-
maybe you
no,
shouldn't. Yeah.
No. I'm down to date. I just can't do the Hinge. Like this is the lineup for Hinge.
It's not Hinge. That's people.
This is not what Hinge is like.
It's not Hinge.
Thank you.
You don't think so?
Not at all.
Hinge.
I would also say Amanda has a very different Hinge experience than anyone else I've ever met.
Yeah. Well,
You have a
Is
very
it
good one.
a
Very
good one?
No, she like goes on every person you go on a date with, you like somehow become soulmates, at least for a few months. And I've never
Wow.
understood it. I've been on dating apps for 4 years and nothing has ever come of it.
but
so.
these two are like
Oh my
these.
God.
This is
I
the
like
yin
this
and
yin and
yang.
yang.
This
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love them.
This is good.
Amanda is like a ninja dater. She is she's a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
You're
a pro. She's and it's a compliment.
I just think I like meeting new people.
Yeah. No. She.
Well, yeah, you get to go out to dinner, you get a free meal, right? Most of
It'll
the time,
serve
at
her
least.
well.
It's
Yeah.
nice.
So- but then I feel like I want to like get drinks or something after. You know?
Nice,
if
nice,
I were to
nice.
give my psychoanalysis of someone who's not an expert, like all of Amanda's doors and windows are open, and the only thing she needs to like finally tune. It's a great thing. Is boundaries and expectations, because like with all your doors and windows open, everything kind of gets in, right? And so you have to like it can get dirty quickly. Allie, it's like Fort
She runs
Knox.
a tight ship.
Fucking Fort Knox. You need
Allie
like
got a wall.
Impenetrable.
you need to like scan your eyes and like like all these passwords, and it's just like nothing's going on because no one ever gets in. So that's those two.
I love
You're
that.
more Camp Alley.
Yeah.
You
Well,
got a wall?
no, well, before
Oh, yeah.
I loved dating. I would go out all the time, but I was drinking. I think now I have to learn how to do that
Sure.
sober. And I could go on a shitty date and have the best time because I was just boozing and I get delicious
Yeah.
food and I could kind of turn it into my own little reality show and then never see that person again. But now I have to be sober and sit in it and be like, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
I'm stuck here and I can't like
Also,
disappear.
we've noticed that he's particular, which so am I, on laughs.
Really?
Oh,
We were
dude,
wa-
on the show, someone laughs, I go, oh, I'm out. I'm
yeah.
out.
And
Really?
he's like, that's all I'll hear is that laugh. Because he's
Oh,
also
yeah.
a funny dude. So it's going to
what's
make
your
the girl
laugh?
laugh a lot.
What is my laugh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Make me laugh, funny guy.
He's got a
There
normal
you go.
laugh.
It's a good
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. But like if they have like a
Oh, I
crazy
took-
Like a
laugh.
cackle?
Dude,
yeah.
no, I took this girl out and it's like we went to the nice guy and it's pretty
Imagine
low
if
key. It's quiet.
Chris-
She's just laughing like a fucking dead horse, like so loud. This was like a deep bellowing. I don't know why I said dead horse. It's dead. Like
Stupid.
Yeah. It's the volume that's the issue.
And the
volume,
tone.
The tone, the register.
yeah, because I like a loud laugh, but it was bellowing. It was just like taking over the nice guy. And I'm like, holy fuck. I
Did
gotta
she
get out of
seem
here.
like embarrassed by it? Did she seem aware?
She has
No,
no awareness.
why I respected her, she was like, my laugh is horrendous.
Megan
Like,
knows.
Oh,
She,
she
she
said
laughed
it.
once and I was like, whoa. And she's like, yeah, it's awful.
So
And I was
Ryan,
like, all right, I like that.
We call those pet peeves,
Okay.
Yes.
and you see them as non-negotiables.
Ooh.
It depends. It depends. Like that
No.
particular.
No, it's 100%. Like if I'm just saying, if you met a woman who at first glance you're physically attracted to her,
Yeah.
so which obviously that matters first, and then you got to know her and she's making you laugh and you're connecting and she's thoughtful, and then you get to know her even more and you feel safe and comfortable around her, and she's like all these like things. You're just like, Megan, you're just like, oh gosh. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she laughs.
Why'd you say
No, no, no.
Megan?
It would've-
I'm his
No, that's
sister.
like,
I'd be like, Megan, I found the one. No, because he
Oh,
knows
okay.
I
He's
have
just
to
I was
like,
go
he's
through
like,
you.
yeah, he's like,
Right,
you
you have to
guys
go
are
through me.
very
Yeah.
close.
Sorry,
He's just like,
sorry.
all you can do is think about her.
Sorry.
I mean, I know you guys are close.
I know what you're picking. I'm picking up what you're
Thank you, Ryan. And you would get over it.
I would get over it 100%. No, this was just like the cherry on top. There was other factors of this.
But the problem is, the problem with something like a laugh is that you find out the laugh early on. Funny guy, you go on a date, you want to make her laugh. And that when we're dating, we learn about these potential pet peeves before we get to know the things that like take time to build that will make you feel safe and connected. Yeah, the looks, surely you see that right away. But some of these other things that like we have to peel back layers to like really get to know someone and be like, fuck, like
I have so many pet peeves
Okay.
with my husband.
So I gotta get
what
over the
are-
laugh.
With my own husband, I have pet peeves. And I just
Such as?
talked to him about it. such as his breath is fucking atrocious. Like
Is it
in the
really?
morning.
Oh man.
Oh, death breath.
Poor Daryl. dude.
Poor Daryl. I'm sorry. He
But
knows
he can use him as a punching
He
bag.
knows it because he doesn't
knows-
brush his teeth and he drinks coffee. So imagine the smell.
Oh, yeah. See, I
Imagine.
brush before the
And I
coffee. I
say,
brush
"Baby,
right
for
after.
the love of
Like, I gotta get
Christ."
that shit out.
But he can do
immediately.
something about it.
He can do, and I say, hey, this is a pet peeve of mine. Don't ever fucking do it again.
Yeah, because
And
you
then
can
he does
taste.
it.
You could taste bad breath. You know.
No, when he comes near me, I smell it.
Well,
You
he
know
likes
what
to
I'm
be really
saying?
close to you at all times. I've noticed that
Yes.
for sure.
See, Love Is Blind might be dangerous for you to watch. And
Love is
something
Blind.
what I like about it is that, like, because I know you guys don't watch The Bachelor, but on The Bachelor, you have heroes and you have villains. And they like oversimplify characters. So like if you're a hero, you're just like, you're great, and you're like a queen or a king, and you're just like grateful to be there.
That's how
And
it
you're just like,
works.
and then you have villains who they'll make one fuck up or the house hates them, and then they'll isolate on this like one like annoying tick or habit or
Were you a hero?
I was a hero and a villain.
What?
Nice.
Well, you know, when you go on enough of times,
Oh, you become a villain.
no, I was a villain first.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice.
I went to the good side. And what I love about Love Is Blind is there's no heroes and villains. They're just people with warts. Because everyone on this show has warts.
Yeah.
They do, and I love, because from an experiment standpoint, they're showing, and that's why Shane, if you keep watching, again, I don't know if he has anger issues or if he's a douchebag, but he has more and more charming moments, and there are more times where other people, when they're presented like as things like this whole, so they get in these pods, they get engaged, and then they go on this Cancun honeymoon, and then they go in Chicago and try to like, and they meet family, They go in the real world while planning this wedding, and like every episode, it's just like they remind you weddings in 3 weeks, weddings in 2.5 weeks, weddings in 2 weeks. So. Shit, if that were me, I would be losing every day that I get closer to the deadline. I'd be like, holy shit. And you can see that on some of the other couples where it's just like, no, we're still in love. And they're just like, but it's 2 weeks away, you know, and you see that intensity. And with Shane, he's getting calmer and calmer. And like, he's been like when conflict is happening, he, in his kind of goofy, big personality way, has become this calming presence. I mean, again, I'm not totally caught up.
Now I'm gonna
I will
watch
say
it.
I had a sweet spot for him because Natalie was just immediately different than she was in the pod in Cancun. And he says that. I'm like, okay, I could see why he's getting frustrated and acting a little extra because she does kind of switch it up on him, I feel.
Like
So does
how?
that-
What did she switch up?
She just wasn't the same as she was in the pod. I think she was, and
Natalie?
he's like, I don't know if she's nervous.
Yeah. No, she got
She got kind of
because they're all
she kind of put up a wall.
they're all you know, and I can relate because they have these moments. This whole experiment it's again like The Bachelor. If you isolate anyone into a confined space with limited stimulation, and then you introduce certain you decide on what the stimulation is. The stimulation being these people they meet. You're going to feel intense feelings.
Yeah.
You just will. And then when you take those feelings and you introduce other variables, like that will affect it. And what you're seeing is how these other variables affect these intense feelings. And you're watching them like grapple with these emotions in real time, which is kind of fascinating. And you're seeing how they handle it. So like, that's what I mean by you see all their warts. You see them. And I think that's why it makes sense when they come back and forth, because at first it seems like Maya is like not remotely into Salvador, which I still don't think she's into him at all. They keep kind of going back to like her and Jarrett seem like they have the best chemistry of anyone.
Wait, do you mean Mallory?
Mallory, sorry.
Yeah, Mallory's not into Salvador at all.
Mallory and
when they
Jarrett,
met.
like I almost like want them
Oh.
to end up
That
together.
would break that girl's heart. Isn't she on the?
Ayana?
Yeah, Ayana.
See, that's the thing. You know what it is? I think we all love Ayana and we're
Yeah.
rooting for her.
Dude,
but
she's the best.
I don't
She's
know.
the sweetest.
I don't know if we love Jarrett and Ayana as much as we love just Ayana.
That's probably what
I
it
like
is.
Ayana more than
Yeah.
Jared and Ayana.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think we're rooting for Jarrett and Ayana because we don't want Ayana to get her heart broken.
Heartbroken.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we love those two.
But also, she was his second choice, which is
Yeah.
fucked up. And she was like, I don't deserve to be a second choice.
And I
was
feel like stuff like that,
no.
like if there's
then
any
she said yes to be.
weirdness at the beginning of a relationship,
gonna be
like
there
that stuff really
forever.
carries. Like
You
I feel like
carry
there's
that.
going to be like a lingering resentment where that's going to develop into a complex.
Yeah.
So like you never chose me first.
Like, what would you do? You would say no.
But you
if
know what?
someone,
If you were the second choice. I thought about it as soon as I'm watching. I was like, what would I do?
I'd be a
So-
second choice. I don't give a fuck.
Which is interesting because like they
Sure, Mr. Wall.
they floated the right reasons line, which is like a trope on The Bachelor. It's like, are you here for the right reasons? Because if you're, that's how they get you. But when this second option was coming up, I was thinking they're clearly saying yes to be on TV,
Right? That's what
but
I
the
was
way
thinking
they
too.
framed it later on, the more they kept using the word experiment, it was almost, it felt like the show, instead of like outing their cast as villains, it was the show protecting their cast. It's just saying yes to an experiment, not yes to being on TV.
I swear I didn't hear that as much in the first season. The word
yeah,
experiment.
I didn't watch the first season like this, but it's something
Like,
that
it
I'm
wasn't
really
that.
picking up on because it seems so like different than, because The Bachelor, when you watch it, they want you to that's
Pretend
what
it's real.
that's what
like
they
that.
get the drama is they tell the people on it, and even the audience are watching it like, no, but you knew what you signed up for, the fantasy suite, like what do you know? And I'm like, okay, like, but it's not normal, but like, you know what you signed up
Yeah.
for, and like here they keep telling you, reminding you, this is an experiment,
weird.
this is weird for everyone. I don't know, it's I feel like I'd love to see
I
you
would
experience
love to be on
experience something that would like make you just feel something and
Dig deep.
cry. When's the last time you
On
cried
TV
about
too. That's a great
from a girl.
question.
Probably like 2 years ago, sometime before
Okay,
the pandemic. I cried.
that's not that long ago.
Yeah.
How did you guys get so close? Have you always been close?
Since like the end of high school, we finally started going to parties together, and we were rolling as the trainers are here, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were close. We were always close growing up, and then we moved to a high school, and I was like, oh, it's because of you, because she was allergic to the previous school.
I had a mold allergy.
It was a whole thing.
coughing.
You were
It was-
allergic to your school.
I kept coughing, and
Yeah.
they were like, "You need to shush," and they would kick
Like
me
in
out.
middle school, you could hear it coming from miles away in the halls, and I'd be like, oh,
Cough.
Jesus Christ, she was just coughing and coughing and coughing.
Mm.
But
So then we moved to a different island, like to the Cape Cod, you know.
yeah, which was for
From
the best
Nantucket.
in the long run.
Yeah.
But at first, I was
That's why
like,
we're here.
fuck that. I want to be in Nantucket Whale. I want to play for the football team. I'm missing it. I
He
miss
was
my
Mr. Popular,
boys
and
in
I took him
Nantucket.
away. But then he became Mr. Popular at Cape Cod too.
It was
and then, Then I was Trainer sister forever.
You were.
now I'm Meghan Trainor's brother. So
I love that. That's actually that I relate to that. My sister, who's a year and a half younger than me, in high school, I was older than her, and I was at sports, good at sports. I was at sports. I was good at sports, and so she would always say, "I hate being Nick's sister."
Yeah.
And then she was also good at sports, but she blossomed later. And then she played college basketball, and then we went to two different colleges, and then I transferred to her college. But by the time, and I ran track at that college too. But when I transferred there, she was
Superstar.
like literally all American. You know, she played
Wow.
professional ball in Europe, and around campus, I was Maria's brother. So it's
Oh.
which I thought I was proud of her and I kind of, because I remembered it bothered her and it was like a moment. So I was kind of fine with
That's
it.
nice
But
of you.
yeah, I
to
love
see
it.
that
It's
kind of
pretty tight.
change, you love being Megan's brother.
Yeah, just get to go to all the parties and like.
Do you? I mean, that's like a real question. Like,
Yeah.
your sister, she's a literal superstar, rock star,
Mother.
and like,
I'm just a guy.
does it ever get intimidating?
intimidating?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was never intimidated. I would see her like. I remember the first photo shoot, and I in New York City. I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" But I still like know Megan. I'm like, okay, cool.
He's
it's
more
like
like,
fake it till you
"Whoa,
make it.
what are you
Like I was like,
doing?"
how
Like-
you doing this?
Yeah, how you
know?
doing? We joked
I was like, you got everybody fooled.
Yeah, for years. He's like, "How are you doing this?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know." yeah.
But now I see her
It is
perform.
kinda-
I see her perform. I'm like,
yeah.
oh fuck, like.
And
It's kinda
if we
crazy,
go to
right?
award shows, we'd be like, "This is silly," you know? And
Yeah.
it'd be fun.
that is kind of nuts because no one really see that I'm assuming most of your fan base don't see you that way. They see you as the superstar, the rock star,
Yeah.
the musician.
Yeah, nobody knows. Like just a few years before that, like in high school, I like didn't know how to put makeup on my face, and I didn't like change in front of people because I was so shy, and I didn't like sing in front of people.
Just kick it on the couch, watch South
I'm
Park.
all about my curves, I was like, oh my god.
What changed? Like, how did you have to find that, or was it?
I was always like singing and producing my songs, and I was always a songwriter. And someone signed me in high school as a songwriter, and I took that as like, oh, so I shouldn't sing my own songs. I should like be in the back. Got it, cool. And that followed along with my insecurities. But then All About That Bass, I wrote that song, and Epic Records loved it so much. They were like, well, find out who's singing it. And then they hunted me down in Nashville and got me. And they were like, we want to give you a record deal. And I was like, are you sure? And I played it on my ukulele. I was like, I don't dance. This is about it. And then they like got me a music video and everything. And I was just like, fuck it. I've always wanted to, but I don't know if I can pull this off.
That's awesome.
And I was like embarrassed that my high school friends would see the music video. And then
really?
Yeah.
You thought they'd pick on you?
Yeah, because I always wear like black and like hoodies, and I was in like a dress, and I was in a corset.
Yeah, she sent me the music video.
Makeup.
It was just like, people are going to rip me to shreds.
Yeah, I was like,
and I played it for like me and my college buddies, and my friends were finally like, oh, you were fucking serious when I would go around campus and be like, my sister's going to be a pop star. You should follow her on her Facebook page on me. Like I would post her
people must
Facebook
have been
page,
like, sure,
and they're like, this
sure.
guy is insane. I would like get blackout drunk by the pool and be like, I'm never going to graduate. I'll be in Los Angeles. And then 3 years later, I dropped out.
Yeah, I was like, I need you to come live with me.
That's amazing. I love that. Before we do our mediation, I want to ask Meghan about your marriage.
Oh, it's amazing. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Team
about.
Daryl.
We have an audience of people who love our show because we struggle sometimes with love.
With love.
And well, you guys are a cautionary tale because
yes, we're very rare.
Aliens.
The exception to the rule.
Aliens,
but
yeah.
there must be some tangible things that
you want the grit?
More than just I knew, and I know you said you knew when you met him, but what is it that makes it work? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what is it the thing that after you guys got to know each other that validated what you thought when you first met each other? Because there's a lot of people who have thought to themselves, he's the one, she's the one, and then like love is blind, and then been like, fuck,
yeah, like why did I say that out loud?
So what were the things that made you like every day be like, fuck, we really are?
There was never any games. There was never any like over texting. It wasn't like, oh my God, what do I respond with? Like nothing like that. I could be a fool and he could be a fool.
Or like the bullshit of like wait a couple days to text back.
There was nothing like that. It was immediately like hardcore in the beginning. Just like, I want to be with you every single day. And one day I had extra pimples and I was like, I'm ill. And he was like, can I bring you soup? And I was like, no, my mom just did. Shoot, it's okay. I'll wait and see you tomorrow. Like it was every day wanting to be with each other no matter what. And then I think what really escalated everything extra fast too was I went on tour like 11 days after we met, and we're hanging out every single day. And he saw like rehearsals and how hard I was working. And then I left and I was like, do you want to come visit? And he was like, sure, I could do that. And I flew him out. And then watching me like do meet and greets, he said that like I didn't change like who I was as a person from when I was hanging out with him to like meeting fans and stuff. And I just saw him like watch me like with big hard eyes like the whole time. And then after the show, he like caught me and carried me to the cart and carried me to the hotel room and like took care of me. And ever since that day, he like immediately recognized how hard I work and immediately like took care of me. That's a big thing that no one I've ever dated ever did. I've never felt like they really care about me and want to make sure that I'm okay at every second. And feeling that type of love, I was like, oh, this is like
safe.
This is safe. Yeah. Like, and he never compares himself to me and only just worries like if I'm okay at all times. And it never changed. It only got better as the years go by.
And he doesn't compete with you.
Yeah, never competes with me and roots for me.
Yeah, I feel like you root for each other.
Because he was such a big child actor, everything I was going through at the time when we were dating is what he already did at like 7. Like he already traveled the world and had to sign autographs for hours, and he watched me do that.
All the
So
carpets.
he knew all the carpets, all the interviews. He knew how to take care of me, and he knew what I was actually feeling.
It cracked me up though because he hated going on those carpets.
Hated
with you.
it.
And I'm filming all behind the scenes, and I was just zooming on his face, and he's just fucking freaking out. He's just like, I hate
It's
this.
awkward.
Yeah,
But he would do
it's
it.
awkward.
He would do it
Yeah.
for Meghan, you know. And I was like, yeah, good for
I was
him.
like, come on,
It's the
with me,
last
be
place
my
he wants to
date.
be.
He's like, okay.
I'm assuming you have had a fight before.
We've had like 3 big ones.
Did that when you had your first one? Did you get like Nally and I, like for the first year and a half? I don't think we ever had a fight,
Yeah, it took a while.
and then we had like kind of a big one. Why are you looking at
When
me?
you say it didn't have a fight, also mediation caller is probably here very soon. But when you say it didn't have a fight, like, do you just mean there was no big extended confrontation? Because there must have been things where you fell on different ideological sides.
No, that really not.
Yeah, same.
No.
And
I
the
mean,
only
was-
reason why we fought was over the stupidest thing.
Yeah, again, ours was a little different. We didn't have the like love at first sight. Like we fucked around for 9 months, and we've talked about like our honesty and communication during that kind of like, I guess, situationship, for lack of words, was like it was just very honest and transparent. And then when we just started dating, we were just like, we really were on the same page. And like little things, we got lucky with things that we like and enjoy. We never competed. You know, I have my world, she has her world. Like there's no competition there. But when we had our first, and it wasn't even a big fight, but it was a fight. Like now it was like, I gotta leave the room. You know, it's stupid shit.
Stupid shit. I know, mine too.
I'm having flashbacks of Daryl and yours.
That one was because like he introduced me to his friend, and because we don't really have outside friends, we have each other, and I like it like that. And he was like, "Can you meet my friends?" And I was like, "Sure, fine." And I like didn't like them, and I was like,
Are they really his
I'm
friends
like,
though? I feel like
"No,
he's just like,
he's never seen them ever again."
yeah.
And he's like, "You're right, they
just, like,
suck." But in
trying.
the moment, he was like, "Come on."
But
I
he
was
does, like, laps around the
"Sorry,
house.
dude."
I
Yeah.
remember, and I'm curious if you had the same thought. I remember being like, okay, it's just a fight. Fights happen, but because it was because it was the first one we had it, you know, there was like for a split second of there's the bomb that dropped. Like it was too good to be true fear kind of thing. And
No,
only realized,
well,
oh wait,
you got
this is
pretty
just a
true.
fight.
We're
This is
just so
fine.
emotional that
Yeah.
like once he cries first sometimes in those moments, always.
He cries first sometimes, always.
He once he broke down, then I go like, because I can get vicious. So I was like, okay, I've broken you. And I go up to him and I go, please don't leave me. And he says the same. He's like, please just don't leave me. And like, we realize like none of this matters. We want to be with each other forever. And like, let's not let this stupid thing have us ever break up, you know? So if it went there to tears, it would always round back to, but I just love you so much and that please don't ever leave me. You're my everything. And so
it's good for you.
Do you look at those two and
He thinks
want
we're
what they have?
gross.
You think they're gross. You don't go, I want that someday.
We
Dude,
breathe
it's
the same
just
air.
like a lot. Like I like my own space, and it's hands on, nonstop. You know, a lot of foot
Whoa,
rubs,
whoa.
just a lot of
I
like.
haven't got a foot rub in so long since I was
Well, maybe
pregnant.
things have changed, but it was just like he was waiting on you hand and foot. I'm like, I can't.
I was
do that.
pregnant, but before
What?
that,
I'm talking about like the tour. Like it was.
Mama was working. I was
Gotcha.
exhausted.
I just like.
You don't want to rub your lady's feet? someday?
Of course I do. But I also like I want to live.
You got angry.
I have friends. I want
wanna
to live my
live. You
life.
hear that?
I want to go golfing with the boys. You know, I want to like do this.
You're a nightmare.
Dude, you don't let him go anywhere, do
He doesn't
anything.
have anywhere
You
to go.
barely. He's like, I want to finally golf. You're like, no, you're not gonna go golf
Well,
with
I'll
Ryan.
miss-
I'm
well,
like, what the
no,
fuck?
his-
Give him one day
His
a week.
therapist is like, you should take 1 hour for yourself a week to go out. And I go, well, I don't have a fucking hour in a week to go for myself.
Dude,
you know,
let the boy live.
I
It's
just wanted him to say,
it's
you
crazy.
should have some time too. He didn't say it. Now I had to tell him to say
I
it.
just,
Natalie Natalie would relate to you.
Yeah, like, why you got to go be with someone else? Be with me for an hour.
I mean, and Natalie has her friends too, but she likes to playfully joke about like, don't we just want to be in each other's souls always.
Yeah.
Like,
I always go, I wish I could just push myself into you and just be one.
Yes.
You have
That'll-
to recharge your soul.
Yeah, you gotta
I-
get
Separate and recharge.
I'm with you, but I think it's a different person. That's how. But like Natalie is very much like, but like, can we just combine it? And
I could just Velcro myself.
I'm honest. I'm like, no.
No.
Yeah.
But it works. I love that she does that in a way.
Yeah.
But like,
So he's my Natalie. Yeah.
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 It's
And I'm
great.
like, yes, please.
Yeah. I get it. It's just, let him live a little.
They just never had, my brothers, when I say they've never had this, So they won't understand till they have it. And then when they do, I'm ready for them to
I'm
come
with
to
you.
me and be like,
I think you should
"Wow,
go and pick one app and go on it.
let's fucking do it.
It's no shit.
Come
You have
on, bro.
what do you have to lose?
I'll give you $20.
My time, money,
Wait,
Dignity.
Time.
I'm sure you're a very important, busy person, but like
what
also,
the fuck? My
I
time.
yeah, I'm good.
I get it. It's dating's not super.
I think you
easy.
can also vet people before you get to the date stage. I think you
Yeah.
can, if you're efficient
Right?
with like the way you talk
Typing?
to people, because like you don't want to
Oh, that's true.
stay in
I
message
get
land
that.
for too long.
I-
But I think people are too like reserved in the messaging like part of Hinge, and I think you got to shoot your shot. You got to like show
say
your
it,
sense
yeah,
of
That's
like,
humor.
what's nice
FaceTime
about
me
the
real
dating
quick. Let's
apps.
see what's
Yes,
going
FaceTime,
on.
The
Zoom.
dating apps are great for that.
Okay,
Can't do that with just a fling you met somewhere.
that is true.
Oh my God, we're signing up. Which one
Also,
do we do? What's your favorite?
S
Bumble.
Ninja.
Which one's your favorite?
I think Bumble is too boring. No
Really?
disrespect.
Whoa.
that.
They're not
I
sponsored
think
by the show.
Hinge.
Hinge.
I think
You
Hinge
look
is like
a
the
Hinge.
most. You look like a.
You know? You're a Hinge guy.
Okay,
I've made many a Hinge profile.
What do you have to lose? Even
Thank you.
again, time.
no, you don't have.
Money.
No, you don't have. That's
You don't have time to lose.
I'm 29, dude. I'll
You're going to
meet
say that
someone-
when you're like
No, but you're-
58.
that's the
I'm
thing.
58. Fine.
listen. I've always said, don't close doors and windows to rooms you eventually want to fill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Also,
don't-
sorry, but the only other thing is like when you meet a person like that, you're like, I always tell Daryl, I'm like, I wish I fucking had you in high school, man. I really needed you. You know, like you just go back to like, oh my God, where were you all those years that I was alone and needed you, you know?
But you're acting like if you have to go on a dating app, then you can't meet people the ways that you still hope to meet people. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
you're just saying it's an attitude.
you're acting like
It's
you go
just
on a
an
dating
addition.
app that you like your life will stop and it's just like it'll consume you. Just like go
Let
on it
be.
and
Yeah,
like
just to see.
for 5 minutes and assume you won't meet anyone. And then if you match someone who like
You'll
piques
find
your
someone who you think
curiosity.
is funny. That I think that will
Okay.
be the turning point. Is I think on Hinge you'll see someone who has like a funny response, and then you'll be like, okay.
And it's tough because like we all have to like her. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of family to meet.
It's a vetting process.
It's a lot. But if she's funny, then she's in, you know?
Or if she just laughs.
Or if she laughs at
Nicely.
my jokes,
Yeah.
she's the one.
That's gonna be your vetting call. You can FaceTime her and just be like, laugh.
Laugh
Then
anytime she
fine.
speaks.
That's all you
Laugh.
need.
you have so much to offer, man.
He
Wow.
loves you.
I appreciate you. I'm blushing.
I
Mom
said
that
it.
too.
I told him when I met you, I get asked all the time, do you have any like good single guy friends? And I'm always like, in LA, a lot of those people are married with kids. And the other people I know, I'm like, no, I wouldn't. And so like, you're kind of a unicorn, you know? So just
You're
saying,
rare.
people are looking for unicorns.
Pretty average guy, but I'll take unicorn.
Yeah,
That's,
no, but like, sure. Yeah, you're humble. See, humble too.
See?
Yeah.
We love a hung
And I'm not saying you are perfect, but like you seem like the type of person women are looking for.
okay.
Should you
I don't
guys kiss?
Should we
solid.
should we mediate a couple's fight?
Yay, please.
All right, let's do it. How's it going?
Okay.
What are your guys' names?
Hi, my name is Zara, and this is Sam. I'm 24 years old, and
I'm 26.
All right.
he's 26 years old.
What's up, guys? All right. So who wants to tell the story about what you guys are having a fight about?
You can go ahead.
So I'll give you a brief of what happened. So I went riding, and he came with me. And then usually after my lessons, I like to think about what happened. Like, what can I improve on? What did I do wrong? How can I make my horse better? So and then we have like our little nice routine. We go for a shower really quick, and then we have breakfast, and then he buys me coffee, and he drops me off to work, and he goes to work. So
Sounds like
that
such
morning,
a delightful morning.
Yeah, this is quite the
Right.
dream you're painting.
And I want to make it's you and Sam, not you and your horse. They take it.
Yeah, no, it's me.
and then I was thinking, I was a little bit in my head, which I tend to do often. I was a little bit in my head. I was thinking, and then he got really quiet. So like, as I'm doing my makeup, I'm like, are you okay? Is everything like, are you okay? You're being weird, but not like, oh, get off me. You're being weird. Just, you're being weird. Like, is everything okay? And then we met for lunch, and the same thing, like he was a little quiet.
And I'm
then
assuming you said nothing, like when you asked that question. Okay.
Yeah, naturally.
And then in the evening, we had a donut break because he lives really close to where I work. So we have these in-between breaks because we work like 15 hours a day. So we had the donut break was fine. And then in the evening, I felt like, because at the start of our relationship, I was a really cold person. I was really cold towards him. I was super cut off. And then I was like, I just made a comment. I was like, oh, I miss how I used to be cold. And, maybe I should go back to the Ice Queen days where I didn't care about anybody and I just did whatever I wanted. And then I don't understand what happened, because on chat, I'd asked him, I'm like, are you okay? Like, I'm a little concerned. You're being a little weird. But then he told me, he was like, no, I feel like I expected you to be softer, but I shouldn't have expected that. And then I got really hurt, because I feel like I've already softened up with him. So for him to make that statement, I felt like was a little unfair. But at the same time, I don't want him to feel like he has to walk on eggshells and he can't say things to me. So it's almost like I get confused between where I should put my foot down and where I should consider his feelings. So then he was upset. And then we got over it, because I saw he was visibly upset as I was driving away from him. So I stopped, and then we sorted it out. But it's because he's been in a relationship where he couldn't say what he felt like before. So now I just don't want to be that person again for him.
Yeah. Does her story track, or anything you want to fill in?
Yeah, no, I think, and just to give it a little bit of context, I think, so we've been together for almost a year now. So we've gotten to understand each other a bit more. But I think especially towards the beginning of our relationship, there was a lot of, communication gaps and us figuring each other out and trying to understand each other, because I'm naturally, I think, like she said, a bit of softer person, a bit being able to express myself and wanting to get that sort of validation for myself as well. So I think it kind of got really good now, and we've been able to communicate with each other. So it's on those off days where, maybe I wasn't 100% or she wasn't 100%, where I felt like, okay, I'm a bit quieter, I'm a bit in my head too. And why shouldn't I feel like I'm able to do that? And so, yeah, I think it was just more when she was asking, are you okay? Are things weird? I kind of took it as she's thinking something's wrong with me and I'm not doing something right. So yeah, in terms of at least the trajectory, she's spot on.
When you said you kept asking Sam questions like, are you okay? You felt something, and then finally he told you how he felt, and then that was triggering for you. I guess what did you expect were you just hoping it's like he said nothing, but you didn't believe nothing. And yet
Right.
when he was honest, it felt like, you used the word, it felt unfair. But sometimes I think you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the truth stings a little bit, whatever it is, or we get defensive. And have you guys talked about how much it was hard for you to not be the Ice Queen? You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about expectations versus reality, right? You're coming from a place of, I used to be cold. And he's coming from a place of talking. And then you tried to talk, and then you asked him a question. You didn't even believe his fine, but it's like you wanted him to say that you wanted there to be nothing wrong because you wanted to not have upset him, but you knew something was. You get what I'm saying? Like the thing that bothered you the most was him telling you the thing that you wanted him to tell you.
Yeah, but I feel like he could have used like to say that you expect someone to act a certain way and then they don't act that way. It's almost like, my dad scolding me for getting bad grades. Like I expected you to do better in school.
How did you say that? Did you say, Sam, I expect you to do that?
So I mean, after I think you'd asked me a fair few number of times, and I mean, I'm not the best at articulating myself, so I will say that. But I think what I said was more along the lines of, like right after she said, like I should go back to like the Ice Queen days, I was kind of like, oh, I shouldn't have expected you to be softer. Like I shouldn't have expected that kind of reaction from you. And so I think the way that it was worded, and I did apologize almost immediately because I also knew that you were a bit upset.
No, we walked in silence for like 100 meters.
And then,
Meghan,
so I think it was
when you guys, when you and your husband, the few times you fought, because what you guys remind me of, and thanks for calling in and being honest, but like the way you describe it after the fact, it seems so well intentioned and like, oh, we can work through this, but it sounds like it's just the language you guys are using while you're fighting is like it's triggering emotions. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds very relatable to me. I think I was more of the Ice Queen in my relationship with Daryl. He's more of a softie, and I love that about him because with that comes like the good parts of being emotionally intelligent. But I talked to my therapist a lot about it. I was like, sometimes I'm like, your feelings are stupid. And it's something I really had to work on. And I think I got it from like my dad. But then like asking my therapist and listening to a lot of Dr. Phil, I've learned that perception is reality. So when my husband is super emotional and has these feelings that he can't help, that is his reality. So I had to take a step back and go, oh, he's actually really feeling this, whether I think it's stupid or unnecessary. That's his real feeling. So I'm going to try to like really accept that and then take care of him when he's suffering in pain. And calming myself down over the years has definitely helped us grow stronger. But I feel you, Queen. I was the Ice Queen, and I had to you have to remember their perception is their reality. Whether you're like, that's fucking stupid, No,
I think that's
is that
great.
valid?
I think that's awesome. But also the thing too is like kind of what Meghan was saying is neither of you were doing anything wrong. But when you guys started to like recognize that you weren't on the same page, you spoke to one another like the other person was doing something wrong, as opposed to just talking where each of you were coming from, right? So instead of like saying, well, I expect you to do that, Sam, you could have been like, it felt, it center your feelings rather than telling her what she's doing wrong. Why are you feeling the way you're doing? And then try to articulate it in a way that isn't based solely on that isn't accusatory,
Yes.
Right.
My
because
therapist just taught me that.
that's how it sounded to her. You accused her of doing something she has been actively trying to be better at. And that's, I think that triggers anyone. When you work hard at something and you put effort into something, even if you're showing the little, to you, it feels like a lot of girls. To everyone else, be like, well, you still suck at it. But you're just like, and then you say like correct me if I'm wrong, but what you've probably heard is you suck, like you suck at the thing that you've been trying so hard on. And that would trigger anyone,
Yeah, I just learned recently if you try to tell someone like, you do this and you act crazy, and instead of that, if you say, I feel hurt when you say stuff like that, or like when you put yourself first and you say, my heart gets broken when you say things like that, it helps them instead of feeling just like you're attacking them. And it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to compete it's hard to disagree with an ally when they're on your side, when they're like, I'm hurt and I want to not be hurt by what you say,
Or maybe just, and also like before you like state your what's eventually going to sound like criticism, because I think nowadays we've learned kind of these tactics, and sometimes in relationships you're like, I know what you're fucking doing, like, But I think it's also important to state the common goal. Like, hey, like I want to feel more connected to you. So like, I know that that's what we both want, right? Like I think sometimes when we're about to like get into a discussion or disagreement, I think it's good to, and something I've tried to do in my relationship is to just say, like, especially like with Natalie, be like, first, before anything, whatever, like, I just want you to be happy, or I want you to know I'm there for you, or I want you to know that at the end of the day, I just want us to feel more connected. Like, you state that upfront goal, and then kind of, it's more about how we can get to that goal rather than breaking down the individual. Like make the problem like, the relationship, or make the.
I get a little confused between when should I need to like step back and compromise. I'm being like, I might have an ego right now and just try to prove my point, versus that, no, this is somewhere I should stand my ground. Like, because he's so sweet. I get so, it's like a bird, you don't want to harm a bird or a puppy. You don't want to kick them away. So, but at the same time, you don't want to compromise yourself.
You can see someone's point of view and then tell them your point of view. But I think it's all, not taking the moment to say, to validate their feelings, because that's what you're not doing if you don't say it. Like, you're literally thinking, I see your point, but I'm too busy making sure you understand my point before I took a moment to just say, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I get where you're coming from. Fuck. Sometimes we only want to hear in relationships. Younger me in fights, you're just like, no, I just need to be right now. I need to be correct. I want to hear, and we spend too much time trying to be right rather than being happy in fights and relationships. But like, what harm would it do? That is your ego, by the way. And you don't have to, you can check your ego and stand up for yourself. Like, they're not like mutually exclusive. You can validate your partner and say, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know if I agree with everything you're saying, but I do understand where you're coming from. Can I tell you where I'm coming from? It might be a little bit different than yours, but like, just that checking, like, all you're doing is checking in when you're fighting.
Wouldn't it be like this constant back and forth though, of like, I understand where you're coming from, but here's
no,
my
relationship.
And then
when
it's
I
like,
do
I
it,
understand where you're coming
when I
from.
do it, no, shut up. He's single. He doesn't know. But when I'm doing that with my husband, I also take a moment. I go, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry from your point of view. That is painful, and I'm sorry that I made you feel like that. That was not my intention at all. And from my point of view, do you see how it could look like this? And we'll agree on that. And then we'll start being like, okay, we're agreeing about this.
Yeah.
And then I'll flash in a bunch of, and I love yous, a cute little, remember how much you love me.
Yeah, you're having a discussion and you're actively trying to find common ground.
And you validate their idea.
Which is like so rare. Like, I never did in my earlier relationships. It was about the fight and winning the fight.
Yeah.
A technique that I know we've used in like sororities when two girls don't get along is actually, they have to not argue, because that sounds really heated, but they have to advocate or argue as the other person. So you don't talk about what you want or where you're at. You have to purposely see it from your partner's point of view and speak as them. And sometimes that can really like help you get in that mindset and really like enlighten.
That's great. They're literally practicing empathy.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we just have to remember, stop focusing on me, and how, kind of to Allie's point, if my only goal right now is to give you the benefit of the doubt, what does that look like? And that might help you empathize a little bit more.
No, I agree, but I get so scared that I don't want Sam to feel like he has to ever walk on eggshells around me, because I might react a certain way, or I might say, like, he gets upset that he might upset me. So that makes me worried, because I don't want him at all to feel like he ever has to be. And I told him that day, I was like, don't ever feel like you have to mince your words, because even if it hurts my feelings, I'd rather you just say it than you resent me for it at a later time.
Yeah. And just on that note, I think a lot of how I am with that is because like we said, like, we've been together for a year. And at the start, I think it was very much like, I felt like if I was to say something that would annoy her or piss her off, I would feel like it would take us a longer period of time than now to like get over that. So now I think kind of what subconsciously happened with me is that I would want to avoid those scenarios to begin with. So I just started avoiding those kinds of behaviors or conversations. And so I think now we're at a much better place where I feel like we're connected enough that I can have those conversations, but there's still, I think, a part of me that's scared of that kind of rejection on feeling like it would take ages to resolve even let's say mundane thing.
Is this your guys' first relationship? Second, where are you guys in terms of like other people you've dated?
No, so I've had one serious relationship before this.
And Sam, did she break up with you?
Sorry, no, I broke up with her.
Oh, you did? Okay. But have you ever felt rejected for being honest about how you feel? Yeah. So like what you described, you're just building trust with each other, right? It's that trust of like, she's giving you permission to be honest. Sometimes it feels like a trap. It's like, can I really say how I feel? But you eventually have to test the waters. And then in a relationship, you build that trust that Natalie and I have had those conversations too. Like early on, I think after our big fight, like, when I was younger, we had these toxic fights and similar to like her and her first boyfriend would break up a bunch of times. Big fight, break up, get back together. I mean, I can relate to that. So it was really kind of a sweet moment where after our big fight, she was like, "Are you going to break up with me?" I'm like, "No, of course not." And she was just like, "Yeah, I wasn't really worried about that at all, but like, I'm used to that being the cycle. I'm used to like that being the thing." So you guys are just building that trust. Also, you have the right, Zara, to like be who you are. Right? And take space for yourself. You're allowed to be in your head and take a moment. You're allowed to like not always have to like communicate to Sam just because Sam wants to. For like, like when sometimes couples fight and two people, right? And some people like wants to like, I gotta talk, let's talk it out. Let's get through it. Another person's like, I need a moment, like, and sometimes you have to let that person take the moment, even though you wouldn't prefer it. Right? But they might need a moment. They might need to like collect their thoughts. They might need to like calm down. They might need to just relax. And you have to like let them do that. Right? So, you know what I'm saying? So you can be in your thoughts, and like Sam, you can't always be, you can't maybe be you can't react to like her maybe being a certain way just because you are disappointed that you wish she would have handle something different.
Right.
Maybe like the next day, just say, "Hey, can I talk to you about like something that, and again, like just where I'm coming from, I just know I love you, but like, this is how I felt in that moment. I'm not sure where you were coming from. And can we talk about it?" As opposed to, "Listen, I just expected you to do this, and I'm immediately pissed off if someone says that to me.
Fair enough.
So, but fuck, man, like this is the little shit that like, fuck, I've gotten wrong way more times than I've gotten right. I don't know about like.
You're nailing it now, man. You should write a book or something.
Yeah, it's impressive to watch.
I wrote a book. It comes out in October.
I know. I didn't know if you released it yet.
That part's not in it though.
God damn it.
We keep fucking.
I was making a joke. I'm like, you should write a book someday.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm terrible. Anything else you want to add?
No, you seem very lovely, and you seem like you genuinely really care about each other. So I'm rooting for you.
Oh my God, thank you. I love you all so much. I'm such a big fan.
You're so sweet. But I see the love that you have for each other, and I'm rooting for you, and I think you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Thank you.
You guys have the desire. I will say, I always say that after our mediation calls, because it's always like, thanks for calling in, guys. And it's like, because it's uplifting. Hopefully this was helpful. I don't know.
No, it was. Thank you so much for your advice.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for calling in. Best of luck.
All right. Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, Ryan,
Hey,
you were like, but it sounds so like.
He was lost from the beginning.
I know. But no, it's a good,
Honey, I was lost for a minute.
It's good to come back to that stuff because it does seem a bit tedious at times.
Yeah, it's work.
definitely looked tedious for sure.
It is literally work. I mean,
You saw that one and only blow up that we had. Daryl went buck wild. He started running around the house.
It was awesome.
And then
I
we
enjoyed
started,
every second
Then
of
we
it.
started talking like shit, like, yo, is he crazy? And then he was standing right behind us and we were like, fuck, he heard everything.
Oh, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm crazy. Oh, I'm crazy. And then she's like, stop it. Ryan's here watching. I'm like, it's all good,
You've
man.
seen it, but ever since then, there's not much, you know? He
Yeah.
fixed it.
Are you afraid to do the work in a relationship?
Not now, I guess. But it's just like that. A lot of that just seems like
Not
kind
fun.
maybe
I
not
didn't
bullshit, but just like, I'm like,
No, it's the thing. It's not. But the problem, like, and you're not the only one. I mean, we've all been there.
yeah.
We are not taught that is normal. It's supposed to be easy. And
I did want to tell them, like, you're very normal, by the way.
Oh my God,
You
yes.
Yeah.
And like, it seems like it's easy for them to love each other, but like, easy does not. People take love as if it's like when they say love is supposed to be easy, as if it's never supposed to be hard, or
Right.
you never have to do work, or you never
Yeah.
have to like do tedious fucking things, or honestly like things you don't want to do, or like, yeah. I mean, it's just even you two destined to each other, being like there's like you have to be like, oh, like maybe I need to like a tweak this behavior I've done for so long that pissed everyone else. And honestly, it's kind of annoying when people do it to me. So like, I'm going to stop. Like, yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
But it also shows, it makes you a better person. Like, I'm not as cold now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Dale taught me that.
And then
Well,
the best part, and correct me if I'm wrong, Maggie,
Mm.
is that when you find that person that you can like work through these things, kind of like when I said before, when like that when Natalie was like, "Are you gonna break up with me?" and it was a joke, but that's a real feeling. I think anyone who's had love before, had it end, felt heartbreak, find love again. There's always that's the fear, losing it. Like you're so kind of like wonderfully ignorant when you're first in love that you're like, this is amazing. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And it'll be here forever. And then you go through heartbreak and then you have a wall up. And when you find love again and you're just like that fear of it being too good to be true. But when you find that person that you can work through these things, that feeling of safety of getting through it, that you like have a problem and you're just kind of like, all right, you have that common goal. And that common goal is to like fix this problem,
Solve it.
not win, and you're never afraid of it going anywhere. And it's a really good, safe, comfortable feeling.
We used to say that all the time. We're like, isn't it cool that it's like, I'm not worried you'll ever leave me or like ever cheat on me or ever
It's just a good feeling.
ditch me. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, because boy.
And then I always joke, I'm like, yeah, man, now I got you locked in with a kid. Like, you ain't going nowhere.
But in all seriousness, it's a fun feeling, but it's not easy to find, and it does. You will never just find that with someone. I think you have to work. You can find the roots of it and get lucky with like having a lot there, but still have to wanna.
I had the big roots.
Yeah.
I think my thing is I avoid conflict at all. Like I do everything I can to avoid conflict. So maybe.
You know what's nice though? We live with our whole family. So I live with my two brothers and my husband. We're all together, and my parents come over every single day. These relationship problems I have with my brother sometimes.
Yeah.
And as painful as it is, I have to go talk to them. I say, hey, this really hurts my feelings when you do this. And so that's a great warm up for when you have love.
You can't hate it that much. You just have to find your Daryl.
Your Daryl.
How does Daryl deal? Does he like does everyone just
He
need a
knows how
moment?
much everyone loves him. Yeah. And what are you talking about?
Does he ever just need a moment in the house with everyone together?
Yeah, he meditates twice a day for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
He has
he's got
his me
his moments.
He's like, I need to meditate.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Sauna,
yes.
he escapes.
He escapes.
I love that. You guys got a nice little system.
Yeah.
You guys are a delight.
You're a delight, man. You're a genius. You should write a book someday. Thanks for having us. Thanks for educating him. I think he's going to have a Hinge thing.
I continue
tonight.
to learn. I love learning.
Right?
Can I at least, and I'm not going to just set you up with anyone because I think not ever, I wouldn't,
You
But-
think she's on Hinge?
But if I meet someone who I do think could be a match for you, can I?
Of course, I'd be honored.
Can I
you seem
refer
to
you?
have a pretty cool
I only
circle.
ask because getting set up sucks. It's like it sucks.
I got set up.
That's true, yeah.
You did? Okay. So I can.
Yeah,
I want your permission.
Of
I
course.
can like throw your name around.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, please. He said, since last
All right.
time we saw you.
Your crew, big fan. A whole
He wants
Mally's
to be friends with you.
Yeah. You guys do it right.
Likewise. I think you're great.
I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Sweet.
Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to send your questions at asknick@castme.com. Cast with a K for all your Ask Nick questions, your mediation calls. Get your boyfriends and husbands and fiancés or your friends. We haven't done friends yet. We want.
Yeah, because
Ooh,
I
that's
think,
good.
like she was saying, like we have those problems at the
Siblings?
house, sibling relationships.
Oh, we'd love some siblings.
Siblings is going to be intense.
Yeah. Give us a shot at the title. You know, like we'll mediate your calls. And so far, everyone leaves happier. When
I think they did. I think
we
they-
Bring us
first,
back for the sibling one.
when we first, yeah, oh, for sure.
Please.
When we first started this, I think they were just afraid that we would roast the guy. Like I think, well, women primarily, we have a larger women audience than male audience.
Sure.
And so women are writing, and then they, I think, go to their
Hubbies.
male partners and say, "Do you want to do this?" They're like, "Fuck no, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get roasted." But it's not how it goes. So let them know. Write in. Don't forget to subscribe, 5 stars, all that fun stuff. We got a great Ask Nick episode of Monday if you haven't listened to it. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Ryan. Go check out your guys' new podcast.
Yeah,
Working on it.
Working on it. I was a
bud.
guest on it. They're so much fun. It feels like you're hanging out with the trainers.
Yeah.
hanging out with the trainers.
I feel-
I
is
was
that-
like,
was
it
that your
feels
goal?
like we're best
Yeah, that was
friends.
our goal.
It feels like you're like,
Yeah.
if you want to know
You're
what it's
in our
like,
house.
if you want to know what it's like to hang out with
Literally.
the trainers, listen to their podcast.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anywhere you can listen to a podcast.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
All of it.
Amazing.
Working on it, pod.
And then your YouTube got the episodes
Oh,
up
my
there.
YouTube has it. Oh,
I
the episode.
actually got into full glam as Meghan. I got to go into Meghan's shoes and see what it was like. Honestly, fuck being a female pop star.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare.
It's a lot.
Gave him
isn't it?
lashes and
Dude,
everything and a wig.
I was exhausted just after 3 hours of glam. And then she'd have to be like, now you're doing a 15-hour music video. I'd be like, no, it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked. I looked
So,
gorgeous. though.
anyways, check out that episode. Bye.
Check out that episode.
I got
Yeah.
Dr. Phil on my episode too.
Do you think
Coming
you-
out.
Do you think you'll come on mine?
Hell yeah. I mean, I'll text him for you.
Yeah, put in the work.
That'd be kind of a
Put
big
it
deal
on.
for me.
It'd be huge because he would nail these. Everything I was trying to answer was like, what would Daddy Phil say?
Yeah. She went full Dr.
I would love to do if Dr. Phil did an Ask Nick episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll text him.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
love
you,
you.
dude.
Thanks for
Thanks,
listening.
guys.
Night, night.
Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. But before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos like our Mondays Ask Nick for your favorite relationship stories and advice, and our Tuesday Bachelor recaps. See you next time.